Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are right now. Welcome to CLIC Connect Live. These are some new shows that we're trying out right now. And I have got one of the best people on the planet joining me today, Ms. Jackie Collins from Gallagher. We're talking insurance today. You know, the deal level in California is down about 60% from last year. But I'm not hearing anybody talking about insurance. And that's a critical part of your deal, whether it's a refinance or an acquisition. So let me bring out Jackie. She is also a founding sponsor of the California Lodging Investment Conference, which, as you all know, we will be having on March 6th and 7th, 2024. We do have an early registration uh, going right now at $425 until September 22nd. You can register at CLIconference.com. And without any further ado, let's bring in Miss Jackie Collins. There she is.
Hello, Craig. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Great. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's good seeing you. And, I get to see you in just a couple of weeks, too, at the Lodging Conference, which is going to be a lot of fun and great information. But, you and I had a conversation about a week ago. Insurance rates are climbing. And, there's a lot of different factors. And it kind of surprised me that workman comp isn't really on the top of that list. You've got the poor people in the Gulf Coast right now, getting hit with a hurricane. Tampa Bay was having some serious flooding issues. So it's flood insurance, it's fires, it's everything else. And you were telling me in some cases there's been a 700% increase
Yes.
on
Yes.
insurance products.
Yes. 700%. So, we're getting calls from all over the country of people saying, number one, I can't get insurance. Or, the craziest one I've heard is going the 700% increase. Is going on. You've got, like you mentioned, you've got wildfires in your area, and the wildfire area has certainly increased over the years, in the last few years. So the places you used to think California, Colorado wildfires, but now you've got Louisiana wildfires last week. So it's growing, but you've also got
It's amazing.
When's the last time you've had a hurricane in California? I mean, that's unbelievable. So,
Yeah.
things are just changing rapidly. So, what's going on is you've got the reinsurance carriers that have come in and said, hold it, we can't do this anymore. And so reinsurance carriers are the ones that insure the insurance company. So,
Right.
makes sense. So anyway, they came out and said, they renewed their treaties in January, July, and April 1st. So we've gotten through all of the treaty renewals for the most part. But when they came out in January, they said, look, we got to cut capacity way back, some as much as 50%. And then we've also got to increase your rates and increase deductibles. So we're going to take on less risk, but we're going to charge you more money. So
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about higher deductibles for sure, and just a magnitude of increase that I don't think we've seen before.
no,
Am I right about that?
So I've been in this business for 33 years. This is the worst I've seen it. I've had people that I know that have been in the business a lot longer than me that have said that they've never seen the property market this hard. You've got $250,000 water damage deductibles. That's common now. So, a small hotel owner, that's a pretty stiff amount to pay if you had a sprinkler leak or somebody hang a wedding dress on a sprinkler head, which is common, right? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, my favorite one on that was I had a guy that had a hotelier that had a guest that went camping. He got rained out from camping, brought his backpack back, and hung all of his equipment on the sprinkler head.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I had a friend who built a hotel in Anaheim, and somebody did that there, and they flooded out three floors. So it was just like not good.
Yeah.
lack of common sense is a dangerous thing. So fire, flood, earthquake, where else are we seeing bumps? Actually they're not bumps, they're huge increases.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
other policies are we seeing large increases on, Jackie?
Well, this is the main one. The property policy right now is all the talk, right? So general liability, we might start seeing some increases on that because last week I was in meeting with underwriters and they said, yeah, we might start seeing some trending of that going up some. But 10%'s been a common number for general liability increases. Work comp, it's still 1% or so or under. So that's been still a very stable market. So mainly right now, though, the talk is property. D&O and those coverages are coming down. The big deal is really the property market. And what we've been doing to focus on this and not spend too much time on it, but it is the deal. And it's so what can you do, to keep your pricing down and your coverages where
Right.
they need to be. And so what we're doing is we are focusing on, and the carriers are focusing on valuations. That's a huge issue. It's been a huge issue for the last 2 or 3 years, and it continues to be the hot topic for the carriers. And so getting your values right, and we recommend do it before you go to the market, because the markets don't like the knee jerk. They want you to come to them and be proactive with it and say, hey, we've looked at the values, we've made some adjustments, we've made adjustments for inflation. You're going to get a whole lot better feedback from an underwriter. Underwriters are seeing 10 plus submissions a day. They don't even have time to open them. Everybody's in the market. Underwriters don't have time to open the emails, much less to look at the submission. If you want to get your submission looked at, you're going to have to figure out a way to get to the top of the list. And so you want to start with those valuations being in line. You want to have a good story on, what improvements you've made to the property. If it's, over 10 years old, what have you been doing to upkeep the property? What about the roof? How old's the roof?
Right.
What repairs have been done? Do you have a roofing maintenance company? I mean, these are things that we are going out ahead of time and able to show the carriers that this is what our clients are doing, which is, getting you on the board with the underwriter then, right? You've gotten their attention because you've done some things. But then what do you do to keep the pricing down? And, we're getting our clients in front of the carriers. That's a huge thing is, more than ever before is you tell a much better story about your hotel than we could ever tell. So we're trying to get our clients in front of carriers domestically and internationally. We take clients to London frequently to meet with underwriters. It's amazing the difference that you'll see. Longevity with carriers. It is a relationship business, and it's clients that have been with the carriers for a while. They're not going to see the same kind of increases that if you have to move to new insurance companies. Those new insurance companies, we actually had one carrier that said that they could non-renew their whole book of business this year and go up 300%, and they would get it because there's no capacity out there, right? So it's supply and demand. So longevity with the markets, a great submission. And then when you meet with the markets, what do you want to say to them? Why do you want to write my business? If you have a claim, are you the first to get open? Are you trying to, gain market share? Or are you trying to just get paid off of business income? Do you have contractors in place that they're ready to go to work for you and keep pricing down on the equipment and materials? What else are you doing, personally for you to keep your loss amount down? It makes a huge difference.
I would also guess that, you're educating your clients. That's always been a hallmark with you and Gallagher. And it is about the story, just like it is going to your lender to get a loan, whether it's a refinance or for an acquisition. It's always about the story and crafting that and your history and blending that into it. So, I know you and your associates have taken, lots and lots of educational steps with your clients, especially on workman's comp, employee benefits, those other items that you're doing. So how are you getting your clients ready for this? I mean, are you giving them a
Yeah.
checklist to go through to help them, what items they need to gather, and then helping them craft the story around it? Well, how does that work?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're meeting with our clients very early on before their renewal, and we're giving them a heads up of number one, what's going on. And then
Yeah.
we work with them with a question and answer. So here's the questions that the underwriters are going to probably be asking you. And, here's what you're doing that's impressive to the
Right.
underwriters. You've got, another big thing is, do you have reclamation companies ready to go with pre-agreed rates? So we're working with our clients to do that, is to name a restoration company and get pre-agreed rates that they can actually share with the insurance company, because at the time of loss, the contract's between the
Yeah.
reclamation company and the client, not the reclamation company and the carrier. So if the carrier won't pay, our client is. So work with reclamation. So these are the things that we're preparing the clients to go into these meetings with. Yeah, we do provide checklist for around the property, of ways to prevent claims. We're very big on loss control and loss prevention, which
Nice.
is also a very big sales point for an insurance company, because if you've got your house right, then the insurance company knows that they want to be in your house, right? So, and that loss control is,
Absolutely.
you know, so, you
Uh,
know, what else we've been doing though is looking at ways to restructure people's programs. So you don't have to just stay with the same kind of structure that you have. Instead, maybe look at switching from a single carrier placement to maybe a shared and layered placement, where insurance companies take little pieces of the pie instead of doing the whole program. Or vice versa, maybe it's a better fit for just one insurance company instead of the shared and layered. Or, can you move from an insurance company policy form to a broader manuscript policy form? Um, are you looking at domestic markets and international markets? Have you thought about looking at captives or other self-insurance avenues that
yes.
maybe you
No.
take on more risk, and that way the insurance companies can reduce your premiums? So, just some ideas out there that, you got to have a broker that is prepared to, help you with ideas. That's the big thing, is what ideas, and bring fresh ideas, on a constant basis.
Absolutely. I like the reclamation idea. I also like the idea of engaging, and our friends over at Partner Engineering and Science,
Yep.
they do mechanical surveys, they survey the roof, everything, that's part of the property as well, besides Delta surveys and various other products. So I imagine if you're required, let's see where we're at now in some of these mechanicals, and help with that. And
Mhm.
I like that idea of splitting the risk with some of the other carriers as well. That way nobody's taking a big loss. So, Jackie, I think all this information is absolutely valuable. You know that I think you're absolutely the best, and it's because of this information and how proactive you are. And, thank you so much for joining us today on Click
Absolutely.
Connect Live. I really appreciate it. And we'll be seeing you. Jackie is going to be rejoining a panel at Click 7. So, look forward to Jackie being there for our event. And, Jackie, thank you once again for joining us today. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.